It's Christianity under attack, and by extension, because Donald Trump has been the most ardent advocate of Christianity, amen, as an American president that we've had.
Democrats and liberals, they want to control God. But thank God we live in America, where this is a nation that was founded on Judeo-Christian principles. Let's bring God back to the center of American politics and American culture under Donald Trump.
Let's bring in former acting Attorney General Matt Whitaker. Matt, let me start with the declaration of Transgender Day of Visibility, as if there weren't enough days and weeks and even an entire month for that community. I think that it was clearly a bunch of left-wing, west-wing commies who just jumped on top of this, thinking that this was just awesome because they were going to get a lot of likes on social media, but it also speaks to kind of the bubble that they live in. And they also hate religion, especially Catholicism, because Catholics do not believe in abortion, and it's a well-organized religion. But I think that this will completely blow up in Joe Biden and the campaign's face. Even Biden said, I didn't know that.
Dagen, it's good to be with you and Sean as well. You know, if you look at what the White House did, to your point, this was an intentional affront to Christians. In the morning, they send out a tweet that just says Happy Easter with some non-Christian clip art, essentially. And then later in the day, they celebrate and put a lot of thought and words behind the recognizing transgender and all that comes with. I mean, it's a clear affront into those of us that are Bible-believing Christians. And I think it's, unfortunately for this White House, it is a series that you laid out of anti-Christian, anti-Catholic moves that makes them not only appear, but actually be hostile to those of us that have deep Christian faith.
You know, and to that point, and it comes to a two-tier justice of 2 tiers of justice, Matt, where, again, we mentioned before we came to you that we had pro-life protesters who were singing and praying outside of abortion clinics. They were charged with the FACE Act. But it's also a FACE Act violation to disrupt a religious service, which is what happened on Saturday night for the Easter Vigil at St. Patrick's. Do you think the FBI and the DOJ are going to investigate and prosecute those pro-Hamas protesters at St. Patrick's for disrupting one of the most serious masses that we have as Catholics in the liturgical calendar?
Yeah. I don't think they will. I don't think, and again, it's very selective, their enforcement, just like they are never going to bring anybody to justice that tried to attack the White House in the summer of 2020.
No.
All of these things are clear demonstrations, Sean, to your point, of a two-tiered system of justice that targets people on the right and people that are Christians and ignores those on the left that support their political ideology.
And to highlight that this was a brazen, craven political calculation, this was not championed, this Transgender Day of Visibility was not championed on the Spanish language channels out of the White House, because guess what? 43% of Catholics in the U.S. are Latinos. And you wonder why Latinos are turning away in droves from the Biden administration. So they're worried about 0.6% of the adult population, which is transgender, and not 20% of the U.S. population who are, say, Latino or Christians. But I want to move on to this, Matt. There's so much talk on other networks over various gag orders former President Trump has faced. And one former judge has had enough of the chatter, calling for Trump to just be jailed.
I don't know what the mystique is or magic is about not putting Donald Trump in a jail cell so that he understands their immediate consequences for not behaving as a normal adult in the courtroom. Bring your toothbrush, Donald Trump, because you're going to sit in a jail cell for a while.
She's saying it out loud.
Yeah, this is the liberal fever dream, right? They desperately want to see Donald Trump behind bars, and they want to, most importantly, stop him from speaking, because he is connecting with millions of Americans who, whether it's the two-tiered system of justice, whether it's an economy where real inflation is really affecting Americans that are working paycheck to paycheck, everything Donald Trump is saying, and including defending himself and all of these outrageous abuses of the legal system. He's defending himself, and they just hate that when somebody can actually step up to a microphone and be covered and speak the truth. And so, like, they want it. It's not going to happen.
You know, they're offended by Trump's attacks on the courts and the judicial system. However, they don't expect Trump to be offended by the lawfare that's being used against him. Again, they have this two-tier view of the world. We can only attack Trump, but Trump, you can't attack us back, and we're going to shut you down so you can't actually go after us for the lawfare that we're using against you. Matt Whitaker, always great to see you. Thanks for being with us. We appreciate it. Happy Easter.
All right. Good to see you both. Thank you.
Thanks,
Same
Matt.
to you. Happy Easter.